So I know we talked a little bit already about the assessment center, which you call Discovery Center. Can you tell me a little bit more sort of about the Discovery Center as a whole, what goes on there, what that experience is like for the graduate?
Sure. So our discovery centres were something that we implemented during the pandemic. We had historically followed a traditional assessment centre style format. And with the pandemic, obviously a lot of things went from face-to-face type arrangements, which is what traditional assessment centres were, and had to pivot and become virtual. So in that transition to looking to move to a virtual world, we took the opportunity to really kind of analyze how we thought the assessment center approach was really serving us and serving the candidate. And what we decided was that your traditional assessment center is really one way, right? It's very much the organization putting the candidate under a microscope. In the current talent market, graduates have choice. The best graduates are getting 3, 4, 5, sometimes more offers from organizations. Most graduates are applying for more than 10 graduate programs. And so it's very much a candidate's market now. And so what we decided we wanted to do was, because we love Coles and we think Coles is amazing, is give candidates a bit of insight into that to help inform them to be able to make the best choice for them as far as where they want to take their career. There are some elements of the Discovery Centre that are, more of those traditional assessment style sections. So what that looks like for us is a group activity up front. There is typically some pre-read that is sent out a few days in advance of the Discovery Centre. This year was around sustainability. That's a topic very near and dear to our hearts at Coles. We have a aspiration to become Australia's most sustainable supermarket. And so we wanted to share with grads some of the great work, our current strategy, and kind of what that looks like in Coles at the moment. Let them get familiar with that. And then the group activity was asking them really, how do they think that they, as an individual and in their chosen function, could support that sustainability strategy? So it doesn't matter if you're in finance or technology or people in culture, how might you support sustainability? That's the first section of the day. The second section of the day is an individual interview component. So we have multiple rounds of 30-minute individual interviews. So quite short, quite sharp. And in those individual interviews, there are your general kind of getting to know you questions. Why do you want to work at Coles, etc. But then there are some behavioural event style interview questions and a chance for candidates to ask questions at the end. All that sounds pretty standard so far. Where we do differ is when candidates aren't in their individual component, right? And there's other candidates cycling through. They're in a session, a virtual session with our current graduates from their chosen function, and no questions are off limits. So they get to ask, what's your day-to-day like? What's your manager like? What work have you done on rotations? How is it working at the store support centre, for example? What are the perks of working at Coles? Like, really? What's it actually like on the graduate program? Are the graduate team good? Do you get along with your colleagues? All of that kind of thing. And whilst we may have a representative from my team there, from the central graduate team, to answer more kind of program design type questions, or maybe it's questions about salary and that kind of thing, which people are free to ask. It's also a great opportunity for prospective graduates to hear directly from our current graduates about what their experience has been, the type of work they do, and really get what I would kind of describe as a realistic job preview of what they're signing up for and what we think makes Coles great. And pretty much universally, we've had great feedback about that process.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much for so much detail there. That's perfect.